This week on Machinery Pete TV, it's never too late to find a deal on harvest equipment, and the Donovan Vandervoort auction had that in spades, including this 9770 STS Combine. From the junk pile to the tractor pull, this Oliver is still getting it done. And Pete reports on the demand picture for John Deere 693 corn heads.
Your machinery is a serious investment and at the heart of every farming operation. Some call it a passion. We're Machinery Pete TV, and today we'll cover everything from auction roundups to the classics to the latest trends and technology. Machinery Pete, the most trusted name in farm equipment.
Machinery Pete thanks these premier sponsors for their support. Sullivan Auctioneers. Let our team of professionals show you how to make your auction a success. Visit sullivanauctioneers.com. A&I Products is a lower cost, quality replacement part solution for all types and ages of ag equipment across all brands. Visit aiproducts.com. Hey folks, welcome to Machinery Pete TV. We're catching up with my good friends at the Steffes Group here. These guys had over 500 ag auctions last year and even more on their docket this year. Now today we're catching up with them here in Hector, Minnesota for the farm retirement auction for Donovan Vandervoort. And we're going to watch some really nice harvest equipment sell. But first, you know the drill. We got to go back to the studio, catch up on the latest farm equipment news.
All right, thanks, Pete. I'm Clinton Griffiths. Higher food prices are changing the way that people are eating around the world right now. Bloomberg reporting with prices rising for basics such as cooking oil, meat, and bread. People are cutting back. In India, for instance, restaurants along roadsides are cutting palm oil, selling fewer fried snacks and more steamed foods. And along the Ivory Coast, bakers want to cut the weight of a baguette because of the rising cost of wheat due to the war in Ukraine. Meanwhile, here at home, USDA's Economic Research Service releasing its latest March food price outlook. It says this year, prices for food at home are expected to increase between 3% and 4%, while prices for food away from home are now predicted to increase between 5.5% and 6.5%. Globally, innovation in the food sector continues to see an incredible surge. Investors pumping 85% more money into the industry last year compared to the year before. Now, this comes from the annual Ag Funder Agri-Food Tech Investment Report. It shows venture capital investors spent $51.7 billion on agri-food tech startups in 2021. That's up from $27.8 billion globally in 2020. And it looks like more U.S. fuel is heading overseas. Bloomberg reporting that U.S. diesel exports have surged as buyers in Europe and Latin America secure supplies following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Diesel exports out of the U.S. Gulf Coast have reportedly climbed to more than 1 million barrels per day so far this month, while U.S. stockpiles fell to their lowest levels in 8 years seasonally. That's it for news. Now let's check out some recent auctions from around the country. Now back to our host, Machinery Pete.
Hey, stay with us folks. Coming up, we're going to watch a really sharp grain cart sell, this Unverfruth 7250. So 9 days ago, folks, our auction friends on the sale day of the Steffes Group had their big consignment sale in West Fargo, North Dakota, and they sold a pair of 612C corn heads, a 2012 and a 13 model, and they each went for $27,000. Now they were 12 row 30 inch. On today's auction, we've got a 12 model, 12 row 22 inch.
45 and 50. I'm 45 and 50 now. 55,000. I'm 50, but I get 5, and now 5, 55,000 only. I'm 50, but I get 5, and 55,000. Another bid now 60. I'm 55 and 60,000. I'm 55 and 60. Hey there now 60,000. I'm 55 and 7.5. Do that. 57.5. We're at the end. 57.5. I'm 50. If you waited this long, you better bid now. I'm 55 and 57.5. I'm 55 and 7.5 and 57. 50. How about 56? Still talking about it. What do you think? 56,000. We sold them for more. 55 and 56. I'm 55 and 56,000 better paid and 56 where? I'm 55 and 6,000 better paid. Gotta go. 56 and I sold it. 55,000 out of the net.
Hey folks, I'm here with Scott Steffes, owner of the Steffes Group. Now Scott, this current used farm equipment market, man, it's the stars have lined up. Are you seeing things as hot as I'm seeing?
Yeah, as my dad would say, we're in the chips.
We're in the chips.
We're in the chips, and of course if you're a seller right now, you're very fortunate that you're going to get good recovery on your machinery. On the other hand, from a buyer perspective, these auction sales present probably one of the only opportunities to get in a market instead of having to buy new. And of course, we all know what's happening there. And you know, when you're a farmer, you got to have machinery, and machinery wears out. So you got to make sure that there's something available, and the auction sales are where people are headed, and this market's been good.
I'm even hearing dealers hopping in on farm auctions going after tractors because the supply is it's tough. They don't have many good 10-year-old tractors.
You see it in all industries, cars, construction, everywhere. And of course, you know, it's markets, a free enterprise system that we operate in, and right now it's really good. I hope that commodity prices and crop production are going to allow us to sustain this for a little while, and it doesn't get too crazy. But right now, things are good.
Now, over your years in the business, Scott, what other comparable periods have you seen where things got this heated?
Well, probably in about 2012, there was a really big run-up from 09 to 12. We had 3 for 3 back then again. Good production, good crop prices, good low interest rates.
Let's talk about land values. Are you seeing the same trend there we're seeing with good used machinery?
As much or more, and the reason for that being is because it's such a definable asset. You know, there's a lot of folks that are elderly that have cash that don't know where else to go, and they identify with agriculture. Farmland has been and always will be a phenomenal investment. I tell everybody, don't ever sell land, and probably that's the reason that it's so valuable.
Okay, grain cart time, folks. We have a really sharp Underforth 7250 here. Now, 3 months ago, the same auction company, the Steffes Group, sold a pair of 7250s 2 days apart. First, they were in southeast South Dakota, and it brought 14.5. 2 days later, north central Iowa auction went for 14.25. Now let's find out what the 7250 is worth here in west central Minnesota.
I'm taking 15,000. I'm taking 15. 15,000. I'm taking 15. I'm taking 15. I'm 15 now 20. I'm 15 to 20,000. I'm 15 here now 20. 20,000. I'm taking 20. How about 16? I'm 15 here now 16. Now 17. I'm 17,000. I'm taking 17,000. Now 18. 18,000. I'm taking 18,000. 18 now 19. I'm 18 here now 19,000. 19,000. I'm taking 19,000. Now 20. I'm 19, make it 20. I'm 19 here now 20, 20, 20,000, 20,000. I'm 19, 20,000. What do you think? 20,000. We sold the smaller one last night for 20. 20,000. 20,000. It's a buy. 20,000. I'm 20, 21. I'm 20 here now 21,000. I'm 20, 21,000. 21,000. Auger's still got the paint on it. 21,000. Yes or no? Pull ahead. 21,000. Sold it. 20,000 over there. Buyer number 122. 122.
Here are a few more items that sold on today's sale.
46,000 last call. Internet and clicker quicker 46. Sold the dryer 45,000 in the crowd. Got it. 10-5.
10.5.
11,000. Live in the leaving, get him in living, live in the living, 11,000, live in the living, he went to get him in the living, 11,000, live in the 11,000. Where? Sold the rocks way 10-5, 10-5. I'm 38, but to get 39. 39 now 4,000. I'm 39, but to get 4,000. I'm 39, but to get 4,000. I'm paying to get 4,000. Where? Let's call 4,000 and I sold it right there, $3,900.
Ag Day is brought to you by Firestone Ag. Harvey Firestone invented the first pneumatic farm tire, forever changing what it means to farm hard. Visit firestoneag.com to learn more about this history and tire solutions for today. Your next piece of equipment is on machinerypete.com. Search equipment from dealerships across the country to find what you're looking for. Only on machinerypete.com.
Well folks, I can report to you I'm continuing to see very strong buyer demand for very good condition, older, smaller used farm equipment. Now an example of this came on September 2nd here recently, a farm auction out in southwest Minnesota where this 2002 John Deere 693 6-row corn head sold for $19,000, and that's the highest auction price in 7.5 years, folks. Now here's another one that sold very strong recently, back on August 23rd, online consignment auction out of West Central Illinois. This 04 model 693 went for $15,000. Now if we pull back and look at a macro level, here's a look at the average auction price on a John Deere 693 corn head going back the last 7 years, and you can see so far this year $9,738. That average price is up 30.1% versus last year's average of $7,483. Now if we take this data one step further, the current average dealer advertised price on a John Deere 693 corn head at our machinerypete.com website is $11,344. Now folks, that's not much of a gap between the current average auction price of $9,738. In fact, I have this thing, we call it our Machinery Pete ratio, average auction price divided by average dealer ad price, and if you do that right now on a 693 corn head, it comes out to 85.8%. That is smoking hot. Over the 20 years I've been tracking this, 71 to 75% is the historical norm. So a lot of people want nice condition older 6-row corn heads out there. Hey, welcome back to Tractor Tales, folks. This week we got a classic Oliver 1950 that was rescued from the junkyard. Dallas Roberts and his brother restored this classic and compete with it at various tractor pulls. This Oliver also made a special appearance at an 80th birthday party.
Behind us we have a 1965 Oliver 1950 that's been modified as a pulling tractor. The tractor originally came from a town in Kentucky, from in Adairville. We originally built it back in 2003. We used to run a turbo on it, then we switched it back to a naturally aspirated engine like it was and run this new class that we're running with it now. Well, me and my brother, we both saved up our money and we wanted to build a pulling tractor. My dad thought this would be a good start for us, so we put our money together and went and bought a 1950 Oliver, because my grandpa actually bought one of these things back in 1970 and he still has it and farms with it today, and that's where basically our love for 1950 Olivers came from, with the Detroit motors, because of him. And we had to do a complete total engine overhaul on it. We had to do work on the sheet metal, some transmission work. I mean, it was in real bad shape. We've been pulling it, like I said, since 2003. We probably averaged roughly 20 hooks a year with it, so it's been down the track several times. Actually, me and my brother just won the 2018 points championship with the pulling organization we run with, KITPA, down here in Kentucky in our class. So Detroit Diesel had their 80th anniversary last year, and they invited us to bring the tractor up and actually display it for their 80th anniversary at the Detroit Diesel plant in Detroit, Michigan. So that was a pretty neat thing. It was like a little vintage vehicle show. But other than that, I mean, we just use it for pulling, pulling competitions. The class we run, it's 7,000 pounds. It's a 410 cubic inch limit on the engines, but like I said, these Detroits are 212, so we're way under the cube limit. Naturally aspirated, you can't have a turbocharger. It's fun to drive, and the crowd at the pools likes it. It's a crowd favorite.
Folks, don't touch that dial. You're not going to want to miss our feature item coming up, the 2009 John Deere 9770 Combine with 2019 engine hours on it.
Got equipment to sell privately but tired of scams and hassles? Visit MachineryPete.com and click Sell Mine. MachineryPete.com, the simple and secure way to buy and sell equipment online.
Well, folks, in the last 3.5 months leading up to the sale today, I've seen a dozen 2009 model John Deere 9770 combines sold at auction. Average price $70,308. Now, quite a range. I've seen them as high as $128,000 down to $42,700. And our feature item on the show today, again, 09 model. Now, this thing's got 2,019 engine hours on it.
I'm 60, 70. I'm 70, 80,000 that are paid on 90, 90,000, 100, 110, 120,000 that are paid on 120. I'm 110 to get 20,000. I'm 110 to get 20. How about 115? 115,000 that are paid to get 115. I'm 110 to get 15,000. I'm 110 to get 15,000. 15, 15. Do you want to bid 115? I'm 110 to get 15,000. I'm 110 to get 15. 112 and a half. You want to do that? 115. 115, 117 and a half, 117 and a half. I'm 115, when you get 17 and a half. I'm 115, when you get 17 and a half. How about 116? Do that. 115, 16. We got to get to 120. That's my number. 115, 16. I'm 115, when you get 16 down to the pay, when you get 116. I'm 115, when you get 16. New fire on the internet, 117. 116, when you get 17. I'm 116, when you get 17. 18, internet. 18,000 that are paid when you give 18. I'm 17 when you give 18,000. Just gonna bid once, internet, and quit. 118,000. I'm 117 when you give 18. Last call. 118,000. We still deciding over there? I got all day. I like my job. 118,000. Well, 118's on the net. Got to be 119 now. 119 now 20. I'm 119 when you get 20,000. I'm 119 when you get 20,000 that are paid when you get 20,000. I'm 119 when you get 20,000 that are paid when you get 120. Internet, you're not in. 120,000. 119 when you get 20,000 that are paid. 120, last call. 120,000. Sold the combine, 119, right over there. Owned it the whole way.
Well, you remember, folks, we talked about the average price on the last bunch of 09 model 9770s being just over $70,300. Here, what we have on our feature item is the example of what quality, how much it matters. This 09 model with 2,019 hours winds up selling for $119,000, a really strong price. Do you like listening to podcasts? Well, if you do, folks, or even if you don't, trust me, I have an episode you're going to want to listen to. Our latest episode of our Machinery Pete podcast, I interviewed Easton Halverson, young man from Claremont, Iowa. Now, Easton was recently named the 2021 Iowa State Fair Grand Champion of the annual Tractor Restoration FFA competition with his amazing 1966 Oliver 1950 front wheel assist diesel. Just a beautiful tractor. Now, it was so fun to interview Easton, who came up through the FFA program at North Fayette Valley High School there in West Union, Iowa. And now Easton is a junior in medical studies at Viterbo University in La Crosse, Wisconsin. But to hear Easton talk about the project, taking this 1950 front wheel assist that had multiple issues and bringing it forward to what it is now, he personally put in 850 hours on this project. And I tell you, this was the second time Easton was named the grand champion at the Iowa State Fair. He also won back in 2019 for this amazing job he did on his 1966 Oliver 1850 two-wheel drive. So to hear Easton talk about his family connection with Oliver tractors back through his grandpa Roger Halverson, just powerful stuff. And folks, if you want to feel hopeful about our future, you know, our country's kind of messed up right now, but listen to a young guy like Easton talk about why he took on this project, what motivated him. I tell you, it really gives you hope. So go check out the podcast. You can catch it right on our MachineryPete.com website or anywhere you listen to podcasts. And oh, one more thing. This Grand Champion 1950 front wheel assist diesel, it's for sale now. And you can check that out right at MachineryPete.com. Well, folks, I know you'll join me in wishing Donovan Vandervoort a happy retirement here in Hector, Minnesota. And I think his retirement got off to a fantastic start today. Very strong sale, and fun to watch that sharp harvest equipment sell. Now tune in next week, folks, here to Machinery Pete TV. I don't know where I'll be, but we're going to have some fun and show you some more good equipment. Machinery Pete thanks these premier sponsors for their support. Sullivan Auctioneers. Let our team of professionals show you how to make your auction a success. Visit sullivanauctioneers.com. A&I Products is a lower-cost, quality replacement part solution for all types and ages of ag equipment across all brands. Visit aiproducts.com.